feel like I'm kind of seeing myself now. Oh, weird. That was super weird. I don't even know what was going on. I think I see video now. Super bizarre. Every indication was that Twitch was working just fine. Except for that I had no viewers. It was super weird. What's up, Tefram? How you doing? I was just like talking to myself for a minute. I have no idea, literally no idea what was going on. Yeah, but I think they're server side. I think they're Twitch side because like I clicked live. Good to hear, man. Good to hear you're okay. Yeah, so I clicked go and I was like, cool. I posted everything to where I normally do. And when I got here, I was like, wow, there's like no viewers. That's really weird. Even on a Wednesday, which tends to be the lowest, I still do really have to change my regular stream day because I don't know, even yesterday, like we had a bunch of viewers. It's super hey Swizz, there aren't that many in yet because even though I tried to go live I guess like 10 minutes ago, Twitch is having some kind of weird hiccup. Yeah, so I clicked live and everything looked good, and it just bizarrely, super bizarrely, like OBS was like, you're live. Twitch actually thought I was live, it just wasn't showing any video or audio. Super weird. Depper 29, what's up? What's up, man? I know that guy. Yeah, it was super strange. So for the first like 3 or 4 minutes I was just talking to myself, and that whole like go live period I have before my stream normally, that 10 minutes where I let people like kind of filter in, that was no use today. I think Twitch itself is having issues, but whatevs, we will live. You see him and the chat box in the video. Dual persona. You see me and the chat box in the... Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Swizz. Appreciate that. All right, so anyway, it's working well enough now. Obviously, people can see and everything is good. So today we're building another Monstagear XO. So the Ninja 87, the V2, and I think this one might also be a B stock, though I haven't really looked at it super in depth. I like opened it and saw that there was in fact a keyboard kit in there. But I did pull the switches out obviously and lube those up. So yeah, everything should be good. And it looks like, hey, what's up? It is B stock, yeah. Actually, Lil Fabs, I actually do need to get my hands on an A stock one of these once so that I can compare them, because the last one I was given it the benefit of the doubt being a B stock, right? Because I was like, hey, there's some issues with this, but even as a B stock in my mind, totally worth, like, for most people. If you're into super high-end custom keyboards, you're probably not going to end up with one of these anyway, not because it's not worthy. It is, but because it's hot swap, because it's super low price, it's good entry level, right? Especially for how much it costs. I don't remember exactly what they were, but I think they were $299. I think they were $300 like straight up in the A stock, like if you got in on the buy. Yeah, so Lil Fabs, totally understood. What's up, Zombie 115Z? Yeah, I think there's still some issues with Twitch's interface right now because the like counter that I have here normally updates in real time and it's not updating in real time, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it because we're on stream now. So without further ado, I'm actually going to pull this. I'm going to pull this thing open and let you guys see where we're at with it. I'm going to do that first. Let you guys see what's up. All right. Oh, okay. Alrighty then. Let me fix that. That's a problem that's on my end. So the autofocus doesn't, on this A6000, tends to really hate the straight black desk mat. So apparently I need to get a different desk mat. 280 was a great deal. And the B stock issues that I saw on the other one that I built was, in fact, they were significant. They just weren't, oh, I didn't need to turn it around. I had it the right way. But again, for the price and what the board does, I think it was great. I do. We'll see if this one's nicer or not. I'm kind of guessing that it's not. I'm guessing it's about the same kind of deal. Ugh. Okay. Okay. So here's why I really liked it. Here's why I really like this board. I'll start with where it's great. It has a really sleek design, right? It's not overstated. It has this diffuser right here where you get some RGB on the side, but it's not bling all over. Like the TX EO87 was really cool looking. I didn't get on one, even though it was really inexpensive for what it is. But it's like super RGB, right? And I already have a KBD8X Mark II if I want some kind of crazy RGB rather. I'm just not that into that. The other thing I like about this board, even though it's hot swap, which I don't love, it has per switch RGB, which is fantastic. I think it's USB-C, which is great. It's got PVD coated or maybe some other coating. Brass. This one actually has cleaner lines here on the back. There was like machining marks up the wazoo on the last one. Yeah, it's gonna be a theme, the bad autofocus on this board, I think, because it's all black on black. Actually, this one looks a little bit nicer, if I'm being honest. I think that I don't see any major flaws in the top case on any part that you would see. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was a great deal for what it is at 280. Pretty hard to beat, in fact. I don't love that it's hot swap, obviously. I don't usually like RGB, but again, they're pretty muted on this. They're understated, which is great. Rose gold is cool. Yeah, but it's hard to say bad things about it. It sounds good, it looks good, it weighs a lot for its price. Like, it feels like a premium board and it looks like a premium board. Therefore, right, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Not my personal board, McBurdo. Customer board. I don't want to say that I regret not getting it on one of these. I have plenty of TKLs. But I kind of would have preferred to have gotten in on it versus not, because I think it's a great example of something that can be done for not a lot of money compared to other options, compared to the other TKLs. But I do have, yeah, Swizz. So actually, my awesome mod, let me do this again. I'm gonna shamelessly do this from time to time because my mod is awesome. Actually posted and let me know that this thing existed on the stream, so it definitely came up here. I just didn't do it. I even saw it and I was like, that seems pretty inexpensive, but it's some no-name Chinese company. Like, is this gonna be good? And then if I had known that it was gonna be good, I would have got it. I would have, at that price. But it doesn't use QMK, right? So that sucks. Just everybody used QMK already. Come on. It doesn't come in a win keyless option, which is kind of a deal breaker for me for basically all boards. If you don't do win keyless on a full size bottom row, I don't want, right? like all of my TKLs are, and shit, I mean, even 60%, right? I do win keyless. Tefrum, so I'm not going to say absolutely no QMK equals trash. It would be possible for you to have your own custom software that was actually good. It's just, it has yet to be done. Like, I have yet to see it. Oh, I do, lol. Yeah, I mean, I say that practically every non-QMK board out there is trash. However, I could see somebody doing it and it not be. But in today's world, why would you not just use QMK? It's open source. Do it however you want to. Like, just use it. Why would you make a new PCB that doesn't use QMK right now? In fact, even OEMs should move to QMK, in my opinion. Just everybody embrace it. It's free, it's open source, it works, it has every freaking option under the sun. Like, you can make your keyboard basically do anything that a keyboard could possibly ever do. All right, moving on. We're gonna start taking this thing apart, but it just supports everything you could want. Now, it's a pain in the ass. How do I put this? The concept that you have to compile QMK from a command line is garbage for any end user. And I don't even care if you're a QMK pro. If you are unwilling to acknowledge that from an everyday user perspective, like just random person who gets this, the idea of having to compile QMK from a command line is just completely a non-starter. That being said, VIA is not a non-starter, right? VIA is not. VIA works exactly the way you would want it to. It could be a little better, but I mean, and basically any QMK board could be made to support VIA, and a lot of them just are now. And if you were a manufacturer, like let's say you're Corsair, right? You're just like, we're gonna put QMK on all of our boards. You're gonna get it in there, right? You're gonna. VIA doesn't work on Linux. Oh, truth. But custom keyboard. So here's the deal with that, because I'll say that does suck, but I will say that while VIA doesn't run on Linux, when you do a QMK, like when you use VIA or QMK in general to program a board, the config stays on the board. So if you take that board to a Linux computer, it works exactly the same as it would, right? So yeah, that sucks, but I'm sure Corsair and Razer's software doesn't just run on Linux either, so it doesn't hold water when we're talking about like OEMs should do this thing. Everyone should do this thing. Should they port VIA to Linux? Sure, especially since it's a community project, which is also open source, right? I think VIA itself is open source. Come on, focus. Okay, we're just gonna go to the overhead view because that's gonna have a hard time. In fact, even this will, until I get that blue desk mat and stuff under. Also, did I see Project Keyboard is restocking the serious shit like right now? Post links, Swizz. Drop them things to Project Keyboard. So we're gonna do these. Oh, I don't have the microscope on. That sucks. Let me get that going. I don't think we need it yet, but we will. We will need it. It's on their updates tab. Dude, can't wait. Do you know what the timeline for that is? So we're gonna build this, and then we're gonna use the Taihao jukebox cubic jukebox set, which kind of looks cool. I like, for a cheap set, like I kind of wish that I had got it on this set because it does actually look pretty, like I like this funky retro colorway. Honestly, I would be down. Elgona, what's up? Could you show us the lube job on the inks under the microscope, sir? Ooh. Yeah, I'll take one apart and show you under the microscope. So you guys know that I tub lube. I think. I hope. Meh. If you don't, if you didn't before, you do now. So I will show you what the lube looks like under the microscope. And I'll do that right now. Make it easy. It's onto the quality control phase and they have May 2020 listed. That's awesome. Hey, Dual Persona, thanks for gifting that tier 1 sub to Lil Fabs. You're awesome. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Okay, so I will pull one of these switches apart for you guys. Right? Get our key boss, which by the way, I don't know, they never gave me anything. I don't even know the name of the person who made this. The key boss, which I think is the first of these single piece openers, like single piece machined openers, still the best one I've ever used. Still the best one. For real. Algona, thank you for that prime sub, that resub for 2 months. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Okay, so let's get this thing apart, right? All right. And I'll grab it by the stem and we can talk about why tub lubing is better and what the drawbacks are to it. So I'm gonna, do you guys want full screen microscope vision to do this? I had to think about this. Okay, so tub lubed, right? So the lube gets all over the place. It gets everywhere on the entire stem. This is a pretty heavy lube job. Inks take lube really, really well. Like really, really well. So you can go fairly heavy on them without negatively affecting anything. Full screen. Okay. All right. Full screen. Full screen. There we go. I don't like moving stuff around once we're on full screen mode though, because I think it can kind of make people sick a little bit. So the places where you actually want lube, right, on your switches. Let me get a little spudger tool or something I can point with. Okay, so the place you actually want lube, right, is on this flat surface up here, right? That's an important one. You want a little bit on this stem, right, because it goes inside of a hole, where you don't need lube at all. You also want lube, hold on, let me talk about this. You want lube on these little ramps right here, little switch legs. Yeah, so any contact points, right? And then the other really important places are right here. Now, many people lube the inside of the switch housing to get that. It doesn't really matter which side of the point of contact gets the lube, just that the point of contact gets the lube, right? So that's what you want. Now, like I said, inks take lube really, really well. So we went pretty heavy. This is actually a fairly heavy lube job. So we don't use a paintbrush here. The way that people will do that is they'll hit those points of contact frequently with a paintbrush. Right? You also want it on that back flat spot right there a little bit. As you can see, there are points of contact. You see the little lines where the housing has kind of transferred some of it off. So that's right back there. Right, you see a line right there and a line over here. So yeah. So basically, you want that. That's good stuff, right? Now, I'm just gonna set this in here for a second, and then we're gonna grab this We grab this spring and we'll show that off. We'll turn microscope vision back on. So you see there's kind of lube all over that. Now, a lot of people use oil and they just drip a drop right into the end on one side of the hole, the side that goes down into the housing, and they call it good. I tub lube these as well, and you see it gets a little more uniformly all over the side of the spring. In the case of Zeal springs, I think it works a little bit better because they hug the housing so much more tightly. In cases like this, it's kind of wasteful, but it's much faster. Tub lubing just doesn't take as long, and as a result, I'm happier for it personally. And my sanity is definitely important. Yeah, so it can cause like a vertigo thing, which is why I try not to stay on full screen and move the stuff around very much, but it'll be okay. All right, so throw this back together. Hopefully, Swizz, was it you that asked for it or Elgona? One of you guys asked to see it under microscope. Spare cash. What's up, man? Yeah, I'm trying. I always try. That is definitely the intent of my stream, to educate. Is that backward? Why is it not going in? Oh, it is. Careful with that. You can crush the contact leaf doing that. Okay. Yeah, so we're not going to take any more of these apart, but that is the important bit. Now, that's a fairly heavy lube job. You would not want to apply lube that heavily to many other switches, but with inks, they take it really well, and I think it's good. And we did 205 grade 0, so thick lube. All right, so I'll set those guys aside and we'll get this case apart, right? So we can get the plate out, because we're gonna need that part. And the PCB, of course, so we can test it. So generally speaking, when you build a board, whether it's solder or not solder in, what you don't need is the case part. You don't need that till the end when everything's going back together, right? So I do see where there's some V-stock action going here, and it really has to do with the finish on this rose gold. I'm not going to stress on it. They used Phillips head screws, which was one of my other previous criticisms of this board. Why would you use Phillips? Phillips is bad for this kind of thing. It's just not a good. Use Torx or hex or square, or I don't really care. Something that has full engagement. Something that can't slip free. This is a thing that will likely get taken apart frequently, or many times at least throughout its life. Ooh, spare cash. Did you ask that the other day? I feel like you asked that the other day. The thing that's wrong with Phillips, I'll go over it again. Oh, you didn't. Somebody did. So the thing that's wrong with Phillips is because you have these tapered wedges, right? And they're tapered in more than one axis. So not only do they, if you're looking where the point is down, not only do they taper this way, but the actual wedges themselves, the blades, the 4 blades, also taper down to a point. So what that means is when you're turning it and torquing it, they want to just with force push themselves back up out, and then they slip. And you guys have all experienced this with screwdrivers before, with Phillips head screwdrivers, I'm sure, where you get to a tight enough amount and then it slips out, right? I mean, I guess if you want to limit the amount of torque someone can apply so that you don't strip a hole out or strip a set of threads out, that might be okay, but you know, just publish a torque spec for whatever it is you want and trust people not to over tighten it. Yeah, so that's why Phillips isn't good. So Phillips is okay for instances where someone's going to use it one time and you may want to limit their torque, right? So you don't care if it It slips out a few times. Done. Whatever. If you're going to use this thing frequently or many times, like Phillips it just lends itself toward failure. It just leans directly toward failure with repeated use, so don't use it. That's why a lot of the premium keybs you see using hex. There are plenty of other types though that would work. Square, hex, Torx, there's actually plenty of others even. Why didn't that one want to come out? Well, there it goes. What up, Basement Wi-Fi? How you doing? All right. Well, that was maybe a little harsh. Okay, so we got that out. I'm gonna move this off. There are some tricks to how you could get this thing up. I'm gonna use this one. I'll show you some of my other gripes of this board, things that I think they could have improved, but for the money, I kind of understand them not. Let's go over those real quick as we're pulling it apart. Okay, so other things that I had to say about it before. These diffusers, the diffusers are fine, but usually diffusers that go in like this, a la duck keyboards, great example. This one is actually in here so tight that I don't want to pull it out because I don't want it to break. I bet this one comes out fine. It did. Okay, so on this one, they have this square indexing notch right here, and then they have a little round peg. So it goes between the flat side of the board and that little round peg right there. Why would you do that? I mean, the other instances where this thing has been done, somebody actually machined a pocket out that was curved, and then they curved this piece of acrylic. I understand why they didn't do that in this case though, and it all has to do with machine time and how much money this thing costs to manufacture. At least that's going to be the argument. The truth is, however, it took a long time to machine that little round peg in there, so you might as well have just done it right the first time. IMO. Whatever. Also, this foam, sure, I guess this type of foam is not dense enough to dampen sound in any real way. We're gonna leave it in here because maybe there's some kind of a shorting issue or something else, but generally speaking, this foam is worthless. Shelf liner would do better. I do have shelf liner, but again, maybe there's a shorting issue and they're leaving it in here for that reason too. So we will leave it. Not that shelf liner won't prevent shorts, it's just got holes in it, so it might not do the job you want it to. Okay, I'll move the keycaps off too because we don't need those yet. We don't need the switches off yet either. All right, so there's this guy. There's this spring. What on earth is this spring for? It might be to ground the case out. Maybe. Otherwise I really just don't know. I don't know what it's about. Yeah, it's USB-C. That's cool. I do wish it had a slightly better USB-C connector. However, it'll do. It's Kaiwa hot swap, which is the only type of hot swap I think is worth using in any of your boards. Spare cash. You just hope keyboards don't copy the knife industry and start using proprietary screws where you need a special type of bit. Like that one. I mean, at least that one's a flat head. It just doesn't go all the way through. Right? Shirogorov. Yeah. Super dumb. Thank you, man. It's actually really dirty. Like, I don't want to show it off. It's got scratches on the well, it's a single piece titanium, but on the scales. Like, I've used the shit out of it. I've carried it as an everyday carry knife before. So even though Shiro, you know, still stuff. What's up, man? You just bought your dream knife. Is it like this one? Just less beat up and dirty? It's just got packing tape dirty on it. Benchmade mini crooked river gold. I need to look that up. Freckleboy123, thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. I like Benchmade knives. I have a Benchmade Infidel, which I think is a pretty cool knife. I like it anyway. I gotta look this knife up. Okay, it's an axis lock knife, which I think is cool. Wow, that actually looks really nice. I mean, it's got a lot going on. I'm very minimalist when it comes to design, and this is definitely not that. But in general, I like it. What does Blade HQ say about it? Whew. Man, that's a pricey Benchmade. It's not that surprising though. It's not that surprising at all. It looks really nice. We're a multi-discipline channel here. Yeah, we kind of are. I kind of want to do more than just keybs, and I will do more stuff. Anyway, so here we are, right? Let's look at the LEDs. Let's make sure that they light up and everything comes on. Now that we've got this whole thing apart. Ooh, the waterfall. I'm gonna give this mad cred right now for one thing. That's my fault. I'm gonna give it mad cred for one thing. The LEDs do a pattern through light. I don't want my boards to do that once they're built, but I do want to be able to see when I plug in. On a lot of QMK stock configurations, like it's just the red LEDs that are on the RGB. That's not that useful. That is not that useful. I need to be able to tell that the red, the blue, and the green element work on all of them. I know, right? Isn't it ridiculous? You're getting like lens flares off of this thing. It doesn't underglow. Well, it side glows. There's these little tiny low pro ones, so it doesn't underglow. You can see through the switch stem holes some glow, but it doesn't underglow, but it does side glow through the diffusers on the side of the case, like a duck keyboard does. Man, the amount of glare there is outrageous. Doesn't help that this cable has kind of a loose connector. Visionary, you're a sucker for LEDs. You got in on EO87, right? Because I think you said something about it. Worm Gang. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? It needs to do this like RGB worm or something like it so that I can see all of the colors going on and off. As a builder, or even as a consumer who is building their own thing, I really want that because I want to know that it's fully functional. These are not the ones that I want to use. These are the ones that I want to use. You may own 4 duck boards with one on the way. Yikes. What do you own, Visionaire? Oof, man, that's great. What do you own? Also, Snow Tools is garbage. Womp womp. That's all I have to say about that. Jetfire's cool. Yeah. All right. So with this crazy RGB action going, we're gonna pull up Switch Hitter, and we are going to we're gonna make sure that we test this thing out fully. We're gonna flip it over because ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah. And if we get any chatter or anything like that, we're gonna ignore it because chatter means nothing unless you have a switch it in. So if any of those turn green and then red or whatever, don't worry about it. That's not an indicator of bad things while you're testing your PCB. Once your switches are in and stuff, if you're getting red indicator, let's see if I can artificially create it. Okay, apparently I can't, which is weird. Wouldn't surprise me if we accidentally create it at some point here, no matter what. So yeah, no, I really appreciate this. I don't appreciate that it's, again, WinKey only. That's dumb. Offer every board in WinKeyless. Just my 2 cents. So usually R2, but this one altogether it fits in somehow. Jax, you got a second hand? Oh really, Jax? That sounds awesome actually. It's hard to find sometimes like decent secondhand knives because you know, people hold on to collectors knives a lot. I have some sprint run offerings from Spyderco that are really cool, and I would never give them away or give them up, but I also like them in general. I really do. Okay, Jetfire TC3 Eagle V2 Octagon V3 Eagle V3 on the way. That's actually really cool. Those are really cool. I will say that my favorite what is my favorite duck? Actually, you know what? That's an easy thing for me to answer. My favorite duck keyboard is the Unicorn X Legend. It has such a bad PCB, but I love the actual board, and I built a couple of them. And I built one of those couple I have rebuilt more than one time. But the most recent time I did it, it was with a PCB that supports QMK. So there's that, and has an ESD chip on it. Does it support? It does, yeah. QMK, I think, and definitely does have an ESD chip on it that the customer supplied. I do not own one of those, and it's like on my top 5 list. It's definitely in my top 10 list of keyboards. I don't keep concise lists, and they change all the time, so I guess maybe I should like post one, but then I have this feeling that you all will hold me to it when it changes and I don't update it. Okay, so what did we miss? We missed this guy? No, this guy. So this is the function layer, and I can't remember what we get with a function layer here. No. Clank Key 1. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that follow. Did I get Freak Boy? I think I did. Thank you for yours. For your follow. It's really irritating when you can't figure out what the function layer does. Would have expected one of these to do something. Oh, no. Okay, I give up. I don't care. Disco, what up, man? How you doing? How are you doing? Algona, I did not get SA Bliss. Sorry. Although Shocks did. I don't know if he's in here right now, but he definitely did. Have I spare cash? Have I ever built an LZ keyboard? What do I think of them? Weren't you spare cash? Weren't you here literally on my last stream on Sunday, or sorry, yesterday. If you were, then you saw me build an LZ board. It was an LZ CLSN, and yes, I have built other LZ keyboards. I'm trying, man. I try to remember stuff like that. I'm not always perfect at it, but I was like, man, I swear I've seen this guy before, like on the last stream. Would love to have an LZ CLSN. CLSN. Yeah. I would love to have an LZ CLS, like OG LZ CLS, the first TKL. Yeah, the N is like a 96 key layout. Yeah, I would love to have an actual CLS. That would be the best. What up, Disco man? I love it when you're here, man. I wish I could have stayed in your stream longer the other night. I had a meeting that I had to make, and I was like, oh man, I really want to hang out, but I can't, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, the meeting was great, actually. It was with other content creation collabs, so it's totally worth, but not like collabs even that are public, just private meeting. But like, I wish I could have stayed, man. I love watching your content. I love hanging out and talking with you because you're a cool dude. Please keep making content because I actually want to keep watching your content. Truth. All right, boys and girls. So this is a pretty straightforward build, right? The thing we're going to do here, the only excitement here is we're about to lube some stabs. Then we're going to pop some switches in and it's going to work. And that is why this is a fantastic board for you all to focus. That's why this is a fantastic board for you all to have considered getting in on. And when they do a V3, you can get on one of those then. Yeah, dude. Swizz, you're right, man. He needs to keep on doing it. And thanks, man. Appreciate it. Oh, I need to add Bang Drink 2. Oh man, that's such a good one. But it's hard to update all the things right before the stream. How do I tell my boy he doesn't need shine through keycaps? Show him all the shitty shine through keycaps that exist out there and be like, this is why you don't need them, because they're garbage. I don't know. Don't show them all of them. Show them like one garbagey set. It's that simple. Like all you have to do is look at them with a critical eye and then look at like a GMK set or even an EPBT set and be like, yep, those are garbage. Don't do that. Epsilon keyboards. Well, see, not only do I need to get my mod to remind me, but then when they do remind me, I need to do the thing. Because my mod, who is awesome, did remind me of some commands that need to be added, and I didn't think about it until about 10 minutes before the stream, and I didn't actually ask until about 2 minutes before the stream. So I'll do it right after this one. Basement Wi-Fi. He's a little cheap though. I need to show him some nice quality affordable keycaps. This kind of set is actually probably the way to go, the one we're going to be using for this. Tai Hao makes budget keycaps. Let me get an example somewhere. Or come on. I think I keep some in yours. Still, I do. So here's some Tai Hao PBT double shot keycaps. I want to see these run $25 or $30 on drop when they sell them on drop, at least. Japanese horror writer, what up, man? Thanks for the 1,000 bitty bits. Rip cheer 1,000. I appreciate it, man. I really do. Long time no see. Which reminds me, I was gonna contact you about something again really soon, or really recently. But you know, whatever. We'll talk soon. Love Japanese horror writer. What a nice guy. I had the honor of meeting him in SoCal, and I can say that he is a genuinely friendly guy in the real life. Yeah, so I mean, they're thin and they're a little flexy, but they're PBT, which means they won't wear quickly and won't get all that shine. Is he really a horror writer? I think that's a thing you probably need to ask him in person. I think so. I mean, find him on Discord. And... What's up, dude? Yeah, I think that these are kind of the way to do. If I'm being real. If you want cheap and you want if you want really inexpensive and you want good, this is how you do. And they have like a million colors. Not a million, but a bunch. Dual persona. That's about the 1,000th time he's called you awesome. Hey, you know what? I don't think you understand how important a good mod is. Maybe you do. But if you go on any stream where there's no decent mods and anything gets out of hand, like shit just devolves quickly. Mods are important. And I do want TSC to stick around. It's important. Actually, I want all of you guys to stick around. Yeah, so that's what I would do, basement Wi-Fi, you know? If you're trying to get him into something that's decent but still really inexpensive, I would say this is your best option. And they make like all sorts of colors, right? I got some purples and grays. Like this one's more charcoal and purple. This one's lighter. They make a million colors though. In it for the long haul. No chance of getting rid of me. Wah, wah. Yeah. So, all right. So back to the action, boys and girls. I'm gonna set these over here. Plate and PCB. I'm gonna move this back up, and you know what we're doing? You know what we're gonna do now? I think you do. I think you all do. You know what time it is? It's time for that Luberino. Plow. We need that. We need this. What else do we need? Oh, I know what we need. A microscope. We need some side cutters. Time to get ill. No. Definitely not. This too. Can you show the lube job on the wire and housing under the scope, sir? Algona, I already got you. I do at least the first one, usually, under a microscope, just so you guys know what's up. I don't know why I got this one. I really want this one. All right. So here's what we're gonna do, right? You get your stabs. In this case, they are clip-in stabs. Right? If you're building boards for a customer, the best thing to do might actually be to open up any appropriate build documents, you know, just so you're 100% sure what's going on. If customer had any special requests. Somebody sent me a weird message. Your bot says you're a damn noob. Oh. Womp womp. Okay, anyway, Okay, just want to make sure there's no like mention of band-aids or anything weird. Hold on. What did they say? Okay. Just trying to having a hard time finding it. So this customer does want Band-Aid mod. Customer, if you're in the chat, I would really like you to reconsider, but I'll do it. I just, you know, I don't think you want it. I think it sounds better without, personally. But it's okay. We'll do it. Band-Aid mod. Oh, Visionaire. Big fan of it. That's mean of them? What do you mean? Makes your stabs mushy. Yeah, I personally... Yeah, it makes the sound of them inconsistent. Some boards are kind of like loud on spacebar and stuff like that, but it does make them mushy. There is the chance that they'll fail eventually, though with a board like this they wouldn't be terribly difficult to repair since it's hot swap. I don't know, we'll do it, man. We'll do it if that's what you want. I poll the audience though. What do the rest of you guys think? Sounds like Visionaire likes Band-Aid mod. Swizz is saying doesn't. Swizz is saying doesn't. Anyone else has thoughts? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the sound for me. I used to recommend it all the time. I used to love it, and then too much more information came out. I used too many more boards, and I found out that there was just too much inconsistency in how they make them sound. So either way, while you're thinking about that, because we don't have to do it right now, we're gonna do it soon, but not right now. I don't know. Never personally Band-Aid modded, can't say. Yeah, but here's the thing, Visionaire, it doesn't damp all of the keycaps, right? Because usually when you get up to like enter and especially backspace, when you push down on the keycap, it doesn't actually actuate the plunger all the way down to the PCB level. Like, it really depends on the stabs, and it really depends on the PCB, and it really depends on the plate. This is a pretty, I don't know, actually I don't know what it'll do here. Also, there's one other thing that's important to remember there, is that these are plate mount stabs, and plate mount stabs actually seem to ride a little bit higher in my experience. So I think it's even less likely that it would be consistent, but it doesn't matter. It's totally good. I have Band-Aids already pre-cut. It's not even that much harder to do them. Okay, so pull up Microvision for Elgona and the rest of you guys so you know what's up. Okay, I'm gonna go over this real quick. We've done this a few times here, but if you look at the bottom of this stabilizer, if you look at the bottom of this, you notice that there's two legs that don't look like the other two. So these ones have a completely flat surface, or if I drag this off the edge, it doesn't really grab it, right? Well, if I drag that off the edge, it doesn't grab it. If I drag this off the edge, it catches right there and pulls because there's a little hook, right? So even if I just move straight back, it grabs. Okay, looking at it from the side profile, you can see that those two little feet have those hooks, and they kind of spring a little bit. So let me grab it in a place where it'll where it'll be a little more conducive to showing you. But if you look at this thing, it deflects a little bit. See how it springs? We're gonna get rid of that leg. You don't need that springiness. You don't need that mushy bottom out feel. You don't need any of that garbage. We're gonna get rid of that. Yes, being plate mounted stabs, you probably won't even touch the band-aid. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll do what we... I'm convinced not to do the band-aid mod. Yeah, man, it doesn't cost more. It's not a anything. It's literally just a preference thing, and there's a reason I think people have switched over to it not being a strong preference. I do also think, though, that there are some boards where it does make some difference. But on this one, I think you're better off without. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna take our side cutters, right? Now you want flush cut side cutters if you can get them. This is absolutely the way to do. If you notice, that's completely flush. So it's gonna cut things off directly flush. We're going to put it above. We're gonna put the cutter side above on this surface and below on the leg, right? And then we're gonna just boop, gone, right? And if you look at it, it just takes that thing right off. Okay, we're gonna do that same thing to this other one. Now this one has a little bit stouter of a connection point, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It connects with a bigger surface area right there, but it doesn't matter. You're gonna do the same thing. Boom, done. Right, and if you look, you've got a flush surface. It looks like there's some there, but I'm looking. No, there's nothing hanging over. So it actually goes flat. Oop. Okay, now we're gonna do that to all of them, right? And that's gonna protect it. Even if there's just that little piece at the bottom that does contact, it's not gonna make an inconsistent click or anything weird like that where the two little legs dangle down. Boing boing, yeah. Duroc stabs. What are your stabs of choice? Here's what I'm gonna say about my stabs of choice. There are only 2 viable stabilizer options right now if you're doing screw-in stabs. I know, basement Wi-Fi, you know what? I need to work on that. That's a thing that my mod does need to tell me about, and I'll get something. I actually had some kind of designed and they never went anywhere. But I'll get them up. I'll get them. Right, so now we're just gonna kind of rinse and repeat this thing. Boom, boom. So, to us are sold out. 2 US are sold out. Oh, 2 U stabs. Of Duroc. Yeah, so it's weird that they sell them individually at Novelkeys. And it's funny because I buy a bunch from like KP Republic and stuff, and I think this last time they were sold, or they only had so many 2U stabs. So if you look, there's like a bunch of really wide ones. There's some 2Us in there, but there's like a bunch of wider ones. And so I just like bought a bunch of the wider ones because I have a bunch of the Duroc 2U stabilizer wires already. And I was like, whatever. Yeah, so the problem with KP Republic Epsilon, which by the way, I'm totally down to order Durocs from them. I do regularly. The problem is that the shipping time will be real. It'll be free, but it'll take like forever. Like some of mine are fulfilled, but haven't arrived for weeks. And that's common, even without COVID. Although I have received some from them since. But if you go back to that tofu acrylic that we built recently, I used pink ones because I have some of those and I didn't have clears that I had ordered from KP Republic for a customer build. So He just had to take the ones that I had on hand, which I normally don't do. I don't normally give customers parts out of my personal supply, but I have a lot of stabilizers on hand usually just for my own stuff, and it works out to you know, whatever. I knew they were already ordered because I ordered them on their behalf, the other ones, so they'll get here eventually. I don't know about 2 months, but a month for sure. You ordered the black transparent. They will, and I can show you that. I will show you what that looks like because I have some black transparent ones. So I'll even compare because we're building with inks today. Oh, no KB. I got you, fam. I got you. Show you what they look like next to each other. Okay. Boom. So that's the color of those. And it looks like a pretty darn good match if I'm being honest. Pretty damn close. Plastic. Pretty close. Like under regular light, I really can't tell much of a difference. Just to my naked eye, they look identical. So will these Monstagear folks restock their boards? Like, are they? So this is already a V2 or round 2. They have already done more than one round. So I believe the answer to that question is yes. You're building an HMKB65 with exactly that, inks and black Everglides. And the Vacuum 10, I'm so happy that you got to see here then, that those colors match just fine. By the way, anyone who isn't already a follower, consider going up into this area over here, and let's keep in touch. You know, let's like build keyboards sometimes, and you can check it out. Carfo, how's it going? How's it going? And then you can head over to my socials, which just got posted somewhere over there. And you can jump on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter if you want to. Twitter is where you'll get like updates literally all the time. Anytime I go live. Instagram if you want to watch some pictures. I don't post a ton on Instagram, but I do some, and I need to do more. And then YouTube, all my VODs eventually make it onto YouTube and some other content. Thank you so much, Ben the Vacuum 10. Appreciate that follow. All right, so we've clipped our stabs. Now we need to lube them, right? So I'm going to show you guys that too. All right. Pull out the lube. Is it bad to fill the brass plate up with all the key switches before soldering them onto the board? Tarfo, not necessarily. It kind of depends on how diligent you are with making sure they're all seated correctly. It's good to have more anchors than just the corners. So in my opinion. No KB, thanks for gifting that sub to Ben the Vacuum 10. Thank you so much, man. So friendly. All right. Holy, that's a lot of lube. Loganberry, yes. Also, Loganberries, huh? Huh, okay, okay. So we're gonna do this side first, right? We're gonna do this side first. Take the guide, right? Take a little dollop there of lube, and we're gonna paint this inside surface with the lube evenly, right? And if you kind of look at my little tiny makeup brush, you might get like some idea of scale. Let me get you guys a more properly focused image. All right, So I'm going to try and do this for the first time while holding this like here. But basically all we're going to do is we're going to smear it on there. We're going to smear it on the other side. All right, we want to get those guide channels right there. That look like enough? Nah, it needs a little bit more. So the tolerances are a little looser on these plate mount stabs. So, and in general, anything that isn't Durocs or Zeals. By the way, I just remembered that I didn't actually answer Disco's question about what my favorite stabs are. I will, though. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, so because the tolerances are a little looser, you can get a little more in there, right? Disco, if you're still in here, no, it's not okay, man. Because this is an important question that people ask me, right? And I'm sure they ask you. And while my opinion should not be your opinion necessarily, it's worth noting the whys. Always make your own determination based on your own experience, but a lot of people's experience, and definitely mine, is that the modern production of many GMK stabilizers, Cherry, etc., are fairly loose. So the stabilizers that give inherently the least amount of rattle and have decent tolerances in general are, in my opinion, Zeal and Duroc, right? Now, the problem with Zeal stabilizers is that they cost a lot. Like, they're effectively the same, and if you watch part of the last stream, I literally pulled out Duroc and Zeal stabs for people to look at the differences. And if you don't have a microscope, or you aren't looking real close regularly, you're going to be hard-pressed to tell the difference between the two. Even under a microscope, I bet some people didn't notice and needed it pointed out to them. Actually, that's fine. So they're pretty identical. There are differences, though. And I think those are really the only two options that exist right now that are good, that are worthwhile. Okay, this is, I think, the last one of these we're going to do directly under microscope. Then we'll do some of the plungers themselves. Now, when you paint these, oof, a lot right there. When you paint these all up in here with this lube, the importance is not to just put a ton in, but it's to put some in that sticks to the sides and damps out any of the vibration of the plastic on plastic action. What you're trying to do here with the stab is not really make it smoother per se, though it may have a little bit of that effect. But what you're trying to do actually is stop any of the touch points from smacking together and rattling and making sound. So some of the mass qualities of this thing, so that it has mass, and that it's dense and sticks to the side there, is going to prevent that rattle. It's going to absorb that sound. That's what we're doing there. Just don't get mixed up. Ad lib. Now there's an image. Yeah, no joke, right? Herd of 205 grade 0 producing goats. Yeah, I agree with Disco, right? He's right. Zeal stabs are expensive. I have some of both, but generally speaking, I just buy Duroc stabs now. So I don't need these because I'm going to turn this off for a second. And I'm just going to paint them by hand, because it's definitely faster to not be working under a microscope. Yeah, in general, those are the options. Now, if you're doing plate mount stabs, you don't have those as options. So you're going to go with cherry plate mount stabs, or GMK, which are, I think, considerably more rare. I think usually you're just finding cherry ones, which is fine. Those are your only options, and they're neither terrible nor amazing. They're just kind of meh. You can obviously tune them up with a lube job like this and get them to perform their best. And that's really what I prefer. But you need to lube up all of your stabs no matter what. The number one thing, and I've said this before, and I'm sure I'll say it many more times. The number one thing you can probably do to make any board build better that you're doing is lube the stabs, because that'll eliminate that rattle when you even when you just bounce back and forth here, right? Like, you don't hear rattle. You don't want to. That's what you don't want. What's up, Racing Giraffe? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, so Prime carries them sometimes. Prime keyboards. I mean, that's frankly why I end up stocking up on them through KP Republic frequently. But many of you probably don't have as many boards or as much of a demand to have stabilizers on hand in case, you know, you just need them for a build. So yeah, my recommendation would be to wait for one of those people to restock, or order from one of those places that's going to take a while anyway. Order what you think you'll need, but not extra. And then if one of those other places backfills and is ready to ship before the places in China that you can order them from, like KP Republic, then just, you know, get an extra set. And then you'll just have an extra set. Can't hurt, right? Not at $18. It's not that expensive, in my opinion. 72 Atari, what's up, man? We're doing well here. We're doing well. It's a little bumpy at first. When I went live, it was like didn't go live. Weird. Basement Wi-Fi. So Durocs are sold out. Yeah. Oh, that's, I already read that. Yeah. Sorry, man. It hurts. That's another reason to get Zeals, or literally twice the cost, or more, actually. And Zeals are, for all intents and purposes, the same thing. People say that Zeal wires are looser and they snap out, but I have no indication that Durocs don't have the same problem, because I've only seen that problem a small amount with Zeal. And who knows? I don't have enough data points to say that that's a trend. Just that people hype that it's a trend. But Zeal stuff is great. It's just pricey for what it is. You have some missing stab holes in your PCB, and I think your only resort is a plate mounted to use stab. You have missing stab holes in it? Whoa. Does your plate support plate mounted stabs? There are some indicators that you need to look for to make sure that they do. There are such a thing as universal plates, or plates that take both screw in and plate mounted stabilizers, but there is absolutely requirements for taking plate mounted stabilizers. Okay, if it does, it does. Pretty straightforward. I mean, then you get plate mounted ones, man. You get Cherry or GMK if you can find them, plate mounted stabs, and then you move on from there. I do wish you all the luck, by the way. That sucks. That would piss me off a lot. It's the 4.5 clue board. I have not had great great luck with clueboard builds. I'm gonna be honest. I used a clueboard version 3 something once build for a customer, and like I used Zeal stabilizers on them, and there were shorting out issues because the stabilizer insert hole had conductivity through it, and it was shorting out to something adjacent. Like, because there's the metal insert in Durock and Zeal stabs, it will short out in the hole. So honestly, you probably need to get not Zeal or Durock stabs to work with it. Maybe not on the 4.5. I haven't done one of those yet, though I had a customer hit me up to do one, so you know. Oh, before we get started on this, I will show you guys the other part. No, nylon. So Gorgatron, I did use nylon washers and they didn't help, and I can explain why. So the nylon washers, right, aren't to protect from shorting out on the hole that the stabilizer itself goes through, that the metal insert part goes through. It's to prevent the screw, or maybe that metal spacer, from touching the little LED terminals that are sometimes very close to where those stabilizer screw in hole mounts go through. So what we ended up with was the actual hole that the metal part on the stabilizer guide goes through, like that hole actually had conductive surface on the inside of it, so it was conducting around that and one of the LED pins. The other thing is the channel that's cut in their one piece top case slash plate or whatever didn't have the wire depth thing set correctly, so I had to actually lift the switches off of the PCB, as in not seat them all the way, so that the PCB and the stabilizer guide wire would be a little bit further away from the top case. I didn't have good luck with them. I was like, okay, I don't know what this deal is. Now that was not the newest iteration, so I can't speak to that one, but let's get our microscope up and we'll talk about how to lube stabs. Okay, so you've got two sides that the wire ends up in on a stabilizer. You got this one where it has this ramped thing, and then you've got this side with two, right? The wire goes in this side, and the top one is just an empty void that means nothing. So you want to take a little dollop of lube, you want to get it through that hole to like kind of paint the inside of that for the same reasons. You're just trying to avoid, just trying to get the contact surfaces where the wire is going to touch it to have lube on them, right? You're not trying to fill that hole completely. In fact, more lube is going to go in there on the wire itself, and you don't want it all to seep out into the area that we were just painting the inside of with and cause like hydraulic locking. So you don't want to put too much, but this area is not as sensitive as that other area. Okay, so we're going to take this. This is the only one I'm going to show you on microscope, right? So we're going to take this part, right? The side that has the two wires, or the two holes, and this side that has the clippy bit, right? So we're going to take them like this, and we are going to insert there. Oop. Right? And then the wire is going to enter that bottom hole through the front. But before we do that, we're going to lube the wire itself. No, KB, I hope you're watching, because I think you were the one who asked to show this part. Or no, it was Elgona. Elgona, I hope you're watching. Okay, so you're going to take the... You're going to... So do I say it Elgo NA? Like Elgo North America, or is it Elgona? Like one Word. Okay, so we're gonna lube up that wire. Now, we also want to get past the elbow. This is important. You want to get up past that elbow because this point right here will contact with the plastic. You really want to have all of that coated. Okay. So then you're going to take that wire, you're going to insert that side into the front top thing that we talked about, right? So the wire is actually going to go like this. Come on, where are you at? Okay, so it's in, right? And then we're gonna apply pressure till I feel like we didn't get it. Okay, there we go. That's actually right. Right, so then we're gonna apply pressure and it's gonna snap in. And then if I actuate the wire back here, right, boop, 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 boop. Great. Exactly what we want. All right, boys and girls. We're done with that. Quite a bit on the wire. Yeah, the amount that you apply to that wire is just really not that, it's not critical, right? It's not critical that you don't overlube that portion of it. So you might as well just coat it. I mean, could you add too much? Absolutely. Will you? Probably not. Especially if you're using something like 205 grade 0. If you're using dielectric grease, something a little bit thicker, then, you know, you might. Okay. So normally I don't do these like onesie twosie. Normally I like put these plungers in here and then I put them all there and then I lube up the wires. But since we've got one wire already out here, I'm going to do this one. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of getting a good amount on the wire so that I don't have problems. Right? It's much easier if you're not doing this under microscope because you can see that actuates great. All right. Take these wires and put them down here. Take those and put them over here. Then we can kind of do this. Alrighty. Sorry, I'll check on chat in 1 sec. Do 2 more of these, then I'll read up. Make sure that I'm catching your guys' comments. It's important. Maybe somebody will want to see something else under microscope. I love it. I love that we have a microscope and people want to see stuff. Okay. Loving the macro cam. Yeah, no joke. So it is an actual microscope, but yeah, I like it. It does give you that good macro vision for sure. And 72 Atari, you're definitely welcome for definitely it worked. Welcome to ever ask for stuff like that. I'll always try. You got hooked on silent reds in a Varmillo and you can't go back. Dude, there are so many options. I think you'll do well. Didn't Corsair have an exclusive rights to them for a while? I didn't know that. I really didn't, but that's interesting. I wonder how they would be lubed and with some heavier springs. They'd be like silent blacks that are lubed, which are good. Or MX Xylants, right? Also good. In my experience. You always want to see things on microvision. Microscope. I understand. I do too. It's cool to be able to see the world through a much more zoomed in perspective. Like, I am happy that Keyboards has at least gotten me to get a microscope. And for soldering and PCBs, it's like pretty good. Like, yeah, I think for really tiny soldering, especially, I think it's really good to have to show you guys what I'm doing. There's no like SLR or whatever with a macro lens is probably ever going to capture the world in the way that I want to for you guys. Otherwise. I shouldn't say that. There are definitely lenses that could. Definitely there are lenses that could. Giving Helios a try with the clue board. That sounds cool. You wish you had a microvision? They're not too expensive. They're not too expensive. Not too bad. And we don't even have like a great one. I kind of wish I had a stereo microscope, but I need to have like a space to put it, and this area is just really not that conducive to it. It's okay. We've got some other tools that we'll probably get in the nearish future. Like, I really want to get an O-scope. Like a software driven one, so I can show you guys the screen without like showing you the screen, you know? I don't know how useful it'll be for keyboards in particular, but it might be useful from time to time. Maybe we can do like a, this is what cold solder joints do to signals kind of thing. Or something. You love your 150mm macro lens, a lot of insect photography. That's cool. Yeah, I have a 300. It's like a shitty kit lens that's like a 75 to 300 for Canon. So not really workable into my current setup. Unless I got a lens adapter to drive it electrically. I don't think it has a manual aperture adjustment, so it's not that good of a lens, if I'm being honest. I kind of want to get the, so there's a 90 and 100mm macro lenses that are really decent for Sony, but I kind of want to get one. It's just really pricey. They're making fun of super enhanced photo editing to get a clear picture. Of course they are. Of course they are. I've been contemplating the new 90mm G. That's what I'm talking about. And it's really cool. It's just I don't know if it's that useful for what we do. So it would be more of a like a I want this lens and I'm gonna incorporate it into the things that I do. Like it would definitely be useful in some instances. And if you were a streamer who was making not novelties, artisans, that could actually be really, really good for your kit, even as a streamer. I know, I love paper thin depth of field too. Which is why I have like, you know, f1.4 lenses and stuff like that. And I've tried to use them on streams. Like, I mean, shit, this camera right here is an f1.8. And I think it's at f1.8 too. It is. I'm rolling it at f1.8. But I mean, as an example, right? So like this is in focus right now, right? In focus, not in focus, even though my hand is only the hypotenuse of that away. So 3.5 inches. Yeah. Once I get it to focus on my hand, like, and it's actually pretty far from me. The camera is about a foot longer than my arm span away. So it's actually pretty far. Yeah. Yeah, so good luck getting it to hold focus, true, but like on all of my cameras, I set a, like I have a autofocus off button, right? So, and I do back button autofocus when I'm doing still photography. So like I don't command it to focus and it doesn't change focus. For stream though, you pretty much need to mount it and then you need to have a static viewing distance or whatever. So if you're doing like artisan keycaps, then you just put a switch somewhere and mount it and have the camera mounted. Even then though, kind of need a trigger, honestly, to command focus or autofocus on. That's what the menu option is in Sony land. If you have a button and you want to make it focus, it's the AF on. The closer you get, the worse it gets. Yeah, if you can mount it, so it's a 90mm lens. So if it's actually pretty far away from you, like I don't know what its maximum macro focusing distance is. I mean, I'm sure the lens focuses out to infinity, but the macro reproduction scale is probably not existence at infinity, right? So you need to have like, if you mount the lens really far away, the depth of field will get larger, get deeper the further away from the lens you get. It's not even that it actually gets deeper, it's just what it is it, I'm not gonna go into lens theory. It's too much. It's too much. Too technical, guys. Too in the weeds. I like photography. It's cool. Clearly some of you guys do too. Actually what got me kind of into photography was actually astrophotography. I mean, not what got me into it, but definitely one of the first things where I was ever nerding out about photography. And not like zoomed in on galaxies and stuff, astrophotography, because I don't have the equipment for that. It's crazy expensive, and I'm not into astronomy otherwise. But like Milky Way photography. So wide angle, like foreground landscapes, right? Nighttime landscape, basically. So yeah, man, I like that stuff. That stuff's super cool. Super cool. I like landscape photography anyway. Okay. So here we are. Here we are. Boom, boom. Okay. Yeah, my stuff's all right. It's not as pro gets, but I can hold my own. Gotta jet and read the kiddo Harry Potter. Thanks so much for doing what you do. Big fan. Appreciate your experience. Thank you so much, man. If you're still watching, I appreciate you tuning in and hanging out. I really do. Thank you. You wish you had one of them cool telescopes. I kind of do too. But I don't wish it so much that I'm willing to go out and spend a few $1,000s on getting one. This is kind of where I'm at. I just don't have a lot of it available for viewing or post-processed. I think I need to like install Adobe Creative Cloud. Oh, I'm gonna be so ghetto right here and like open up. Yeah, this computer like doesn't have Creative Cloud installed on it. This phone does though. I think I've showed one picture, probably this picture, because I think it's like the only thing I have actually up on Creative Cloud. Your work. Network error. Unable to connect to our servers. Please try again. What is this? What is this garbage? What is this garbage?
Command codes
verified. Silly. Barely sync. Barely sync. Thank you so much for cheering that 100 bits. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. You're awesome, man. Or woman, I don't know. No KB. Oh no, that was 34 minutes ago. Yeah, so maybe I can. Cloud, no, Lightroom photos, all photos. Yeah, it's weird. I don't have. It would be in files. Oh, cool. That came up. So this isn't really astrophotography. It's just nighttime landscape photography. So ghetto, you guys. You guys can't even see the awesomeness that's in this photo. It's so bad. I just don't have Creative Cloud on here, and I'm not gonna. I can't install. Here's a shot, an astro shot. Yeah, I could post it on Imgur. Just not right now. Yeah. All right, we're done. I'll post it sometime in a way that you guys can actually see, or some of my other stuff. This is picture-in-picture stuff. Guy at Radio Shack was trying to sell me, isn't it? Yeah, totally that. I was just being, silly. All right, so what we are gonna do right now that's directly related to what's going on here. Back button focus is so nice, can't go back to not using it. No joke, right? What would I do without back button autofocus? Like, my whole world would be ruined. Like, you mean I have to half press my... No. Doesn't work into my workflow. Put it on the Instagram. Okay. I will try and remember to do that sometime. I just have to dig stuff up or like go into Lightroom and actually do another export of some of those things. And I've done so many shots since that time. Like, I want to say that was like 2016 or maybe earlier, actually. And maybe 2014 or 2015. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Go actually fuck yourself. All right, let's do this. Let's do this better this time. Okay, so the way you do this, there's these little clips. There's these little hooked areas above the wire, inside the wire, right? I just got lube kind of all over the place on that, but I'll show you guys right here. It's right here. So like that area right there, that void clips onto the plate itself. That right there, that channel. So we take that channel, we're gonna put the wire through the plate because it goes under the plate, right? And then we slide this whole deal back so that those wires go through the channel, and then we clip it down in, and bingo bango, we have them. Now if you look real close here, right, you have these little indexing marks and these little indexing marks on the front. So these little indexing marks on the front are to indicate that the wire side goes through there, and they're for where the front side clips in. And this back side, when you snap it down, there's a little index thing on the outside of the stabilizer that goes through that hole, and then there's a clip that seats down in and holds under the PCB, whereas there's a little lip that sits on top of this. All Hex, what's up, man? Needs more fingerprints. No joke, right? It's brass. It's gross. There's no way to really like prevent them all from being on there, and well, frankly, you could wear gloves, but it makes this whole install thing a pain in the ass, and this is a surface you don't actually see. So I'll try not to get too many more fingerprints on it. I'll even do something silly like wipe it down with microfiber. But the microfiber cloths honestly just kind of smear this stuff around. They get a little bit of it off. You get a little bit of it off, actually. All right. Best linear Frankenswitch. Best linear Frankenswitch? Does that include just putting films on something? Because I'm just going to say alpaca linears. But if we're doing a linear Frankenswitch, MX Silence maybe? I don't know. I'll go with that. How about this one? Alpacas with U stems. Okay, so we're gonna get all sorts of fingerprints under here, but on the underside of the board doesn't really matter because no one sees that shit. And you gotta hold it somewhere. All right, so we clip that side in. Okay, great. Clip that one in. This is a lot harder than it looks with just one hand, because the other one's holding it up. And trying not to get fingerprints on it. Clipped, Great. On to the last one. With lube covered hands, guys and girls. You guys ever try and handle something with lube covered hands? But some of you know what I'm talking about. Done this same thing once or twice before. All right, guys. Boom. There we go. Not too many fingerprints, actually. Not too bad. Now let us all wipe down. Just want to make sure you don't need to do the Band-Aid mod. Lil Fabs, now is definitely the time to make the choice, because we're about to be past the point of no return. I'll do it if you want. I will. I just don't think it's a great idea. Okay. Whew. I was like, man, we're changing our mind. We can't go back after this. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do, right? We're going to set this down, right? We're going to start putting in some of our, some just, you know, switches. We could technically just put them all in right now. In fact, maybe we will. How about we do that? How about we do that? All right. So you literally just pop them in there. I always recommend doing the corners, but we'll do a little bit of an exception to the corner sometimes. On this board, yes, do the corners. Oh, so there's a blem. Because everything's fixed. All of these switches are in fixed locations. If you were doing a soldering board, you would do the cornerish most completely fixed. So it'd probably be here and here and here and here and here, and then one on the edge or something. This is brass, so it's a solid plate, and everything is fixed location, so you don't have to be too particular about it. You don't have to be. All right. And it looks like, so this is the other issue I had with this, is that you have a fixed center caps. I don't like center caps. I prefer stepped. So this board didn't come with a stepped caps support, didn't come with a Win keyless layout, supportability. So yeah, so that's where I had issues with this board. But otherwise, great. And if you like those other options, then you're doing great. No. Fingerprints. Nah, we're good. I think we fine. Okay, so we'll just get, we'll get a few of these in so that they're holding on correctly. Just kind of space them out all over to where they're giving you good results. Then you just kind of start filling in the blanks. The TKL in your bio, no stepped caps. What TKL is in my bio? Do I have a TKL in my bio? Oof. Really? I think there's one TKL I have that doesn't have stepped caps. Pretty sure there's one. Orange boy. The salamander? The salamander does too have a stepped caps. Does too. Mm-hmm. Look again. Look again. My salamander does absolutely have a stepped caps. Yeah, probably in the pick. If it's my salamander, it does, because it has never not had a stepped caps. Yeah, so it's that board has brown Alps on it, and it has SGI Bigfoot keycaps on it. It now has SGI beige on it, which is SGI Bigfoot, but the beige colorway. Before, I think it had SGI granite, which is the other color that that set came in. And so it has a center stem, but it's still a stepped caps lock. But that's Alps for you. Alps is weird. Alps is weird. It is, it is. Center mounted stepped caps. Yeah, I mean, it's, so that's a pretty famous key cap set, and I will pull it out. But look at the stepped. Yeah. It's a nice board. It's a nice board, and it has pretty fantastic keycaps on it. It just has a shit sounding plate. Like, it's the board that does super well at meetups. Like, everyone loves it because it feels amazing and it looks amazing, but it sounds like garbage because it has a PBT plate in it. Hopped up on 1.2 instead. What? Ooh. Oh, you got a Matrix 1.2 OG? Is that what you're talking about? What was the salamander? Was it a round 2? Was it a US group by salamander? Because that one is a Korean group by one, and the US group by one is way better. Likewise, the polycarb one is really nice too. Matrix 1.2 OG is a decent board. I like it. I built quite a few of them on stream, and I'm a fan. I think Salamander is a little bit nicer personally, but it depends on which one you get. Like, the polycarb one is great. The if you get a round 2, like an American group by one, great. If you get that one, just like the finish was just really bad on Salamander. Really bad. Did not like. And it would be hard to tell you. I could probably show under microscope, but I would not go put it under my microscope right now. I'd need to like put down a microfiber cloth so the microscope plate didn't scratch the board and stuff. I don't know. I love the board, but it's the board that I love to hate also. Salamander. Matrix 1.2 is going to be what you expect it to be. They do have quite a bit of resonance on the bottom row and second to bottom row stabilized keycaps. So like right here and right here, I thought like an inherently loud set of stabilized keycaps right there by the design. It may have to do with how sound bounces around in there. It could have been my own shit job on all of them or something, but all of them seem to have that. Hold on. Okay. You're not entirely sure, didn't investigate too much. Plus the guy, more pictures, and he did not deliver. Fair. So you're in a little bit of a pickle. You ordered 60 switches for your 60% and realized 60s have 61 keys. You're literally one short. That sucks, man. That sucks. Be building 1.2 tomorrow, hopefully. Dude, good luck. You're gonna totally ace it. If you need to watch a stream on how it's made or how the little daughter board goes together or whatever, skip around one of my videos. You can watch the whole thing. I'm down for that, but skip around one of my videos where I've made one. Go onto my channel on YouTube, click the little video search and actually find one, and you can see me put it together if you want. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, because that's like probably the only tricky part at all. I wish Next on Deck. Hey, thanks guys for that 55 people raid. I appreciate that. I really do. Iron 180 or bust. Dude, I want Iron 180. I totally do. I'll tell you what, if you're Luke, if you're in here, hit me up, man. I want an Iron 180. I do. I saw it teased on Jeff's set, and I was like, man, how do I get a proto of that? I want one. I will fund a proto to get one, easy peasy. But no one owes me anything like that. But I'm just saying, if you're in here, or if you ever watch this VOD, you know, feel free to reach out, homie. Feel free. What's up, Stash? How you doing, man? I'm doing well. Or Rust. Oh, Iron 180 or Rust. Oh, want. Dude, Iron. Okay, so Iron 165. Yeah, I fucked up, man, by not getting in on one of those. That board was amazing. So here's the question: when? Iron 180 when? 100% down. Will be jumping in on, if possible. Is it all delivered? So basically what you're saying is I need to go on Mech Market and find one for myself? when they are delivered anyway. Oh, there are more. I was like, that's not enough. Oh no, I moved things. Don't move things. There we go. What up, Jeff? How you doing, man? How you doing? So how was Mechs on Deck's stream? How was that stream? Hopefully you guys were having a blast. 180 will go GB shortly after 165 in hand for those who bought. Dude, I can't freaking wait. I cannot wait. Want so bad. Basically, Iron 165 was just freaking perfect. Like, so good. So good. Alright. Alright. So you know what we're gonna do now. Oh, you know. Oh, you know. Yeah, dude. There are some boards. There are some boards that I definitely missed out on this year that I regret not getting. They are pretty much Iron 165, Satisfaction 75. Trying to think. What else didn't I get that I really, really wanted? I mean, those are definitely really, really high up there. I have to admit, I wasn't really interested in thermal at all. It like wasn't even a borderline choice. But it just, I don't know. I didn't like that a lot, but I may actually love it. I just haven't built one or touched one either, so you know, maybe I'll have the opportunity one day and I'll be like, man, I missed out on this one too. Oh, Space 65. So Space 65 was great, but I did get it on Cyber Voyager, so the round 2 of it, and I was like going back and forth on what color I was gonna get, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just getting the Schrodinger, and I did. That's what I get on. So I don't even know what color I'm getting. Don't even know. But I can't wait. I am Red Jive. Thank you for that follow, man. I appreciate that. You know, anyone who's not already a follower should consider keeping in touch by, you know, by going up there, handling that part. Yeah. Did anybody else get on okay, Visionaire did. Did anybody else get in on Schrodinger version? Man, I hope it's wild. I hope it's like absolutely crazy. I was looking at my boards and I was like, I have a bunch of red boards, silver boards, some black stuff. It's like, how boring. You know what I need? More colors. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's effing do this. You got the black and gold Scottwater. That looks actually Scott Waiter. Yeah, that actually looks really good. So, Careerham, thank you so much for that follow. Depper29, what up, dude? Thank you so much for that follow. I don't know how to say those Korean characters, and it makes me feel bad. I'm sorry. I would love to know better, but thank you so much for that follow. Did I already put one in there? I think I did. Any linear beggars can't be choosers. Ooh. So does anyone in chat have any extra linear switch they would be willing to sell you? Man, that hurts so bad. I'm so sorry that you are literally one switch short. I have plenty of linear switches. Where are you at, man? And what are you building with? Ink V2, I can help you out once he sends back to me. There you go. Man, Lil Fabs, what a good guy. What a good dude. Colorado, easy peasy. That's not even far. This guy, like, you literally need one switch, man. I'll tell you what. If Lil Fab is willing to give you one of his switches, I will handle the shipping. I'm willing to do that. That's so rough, man. That sucks so much. You ping me. I am you are you number 7264. I love it too, man. You literally just got 67 gram tangies in the mail today. Oof. Let me know, man. I like tangies. I have to say I actually like them. All right, boys and girls. All right. We didn't do the thing that I recommend you all do literally every time before every build, which is put the freaking... I'm bad. Put the bump-ons on first. Okay, so we got all them lights. Ooh, them lights, though. We will open this guy up again. I guess we didn't test those out. That's dumb of us. Okay, well, they work now. Here, let me do this. Bump. So maybe that one and that one are like dislodged or something. So we can fix that. Ping me if you're a dirty homegirl. If you're dirty homegirl. Wow, dude. Wow. TKC put some tangies in our event upcoming. Did they really? That's freaking awesome, man. I didn't know. Yeah. So that was a mistake. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that what happened is, yeah, we have bent switch pins or switch legs, which happens. Yeah, I don't know how that stuff is being handled, but you let me know if there's anything I need to do to affect stuff for it. I went ahead right before the stream and updated my times Visionaire, what I'm willing to do. I mean, probably I could make some other times work if there are like known what the hell just happened? Okay, that one works now. So this one's gonna be tougher. The right way to do this, by the way, boys and girls, is to remove the plate back out. I'm lazy, but I don't want to scratch customer's case. That's not the board, by the way. That's my stupid cable being a little loose. You know what? I actually don't have the right tool to do this. So we are, in fact, going to remove. Oh, all sorts added. You have 62 gram and you love them. I'm a heavy switch kind of guy. So personally, I'm happier to have the 67s myself than the 62s, but to each their own. Are these filmed or just lubed? They are not filmed. Alpaca, so alpacas are great with films. Gateron switches are actually pretty tight. I don't think Gateron switches really need films personally. I mean, they're tight enough to not have them. If we jump to something like Novel Keys creams or something, like, do not use regular films. Come on, unhook from the bottom. Oh, it won't, because there's screws in place. Forgot. That's okay. All right. Well, we will do this. Okay. Now we'll take this insert switch out. Ugh. And of course, exactly the same thing. So I didn't see Chewy or anybody jump in. How was it, man? How was it? How was it? How do you get rid of the horrible spring nose Zelio V2s, you're leaving them right now and those springs are horrible. Well, you have a couple options. The best one is to change the springs. IMO. Spring swap. But if you don't have that, kind of depends on what lube you're using. If you're using something thick like 205 grade 0 and you're tub lubing like I do, then you just kind of lube them real heavy. The springs only. Lube those really heavy. Lube the rest of the switch as per usual. You don't want to lube that over heavy for no reason. And that might fix it. Oh no, what'd I just do? Get out of there. Okay. So insert works now too. And shift. Cool. Now we're done. How do you get rid of the 3204? Yeah, 3204 will work. It's a good heavy-ish grease. I mean 205 grade 0 would be better for springs in that case, I think. But I'm the oddity. I always lube my switch springs with 205 grade 0. Tub lube. Even if I'm light lubing the switches. Springs, still 205 grade 0. You got to think about it this way, right? Lube in general, the whole point of lube, on the spring at least, there's really like two reasons, right? To smooth out the action of the spring as it slides against the bottom housing guide post, whatever you want to call that thing. So there's that. But it doesn't change mechanically how the switch feels. So really what you're doing is you're adding something that directly touches the contact points and has some mass to absorb that sound. Now, if the spring is tight enough and is creating enough vibration against it, there's almost nothing that you can do that will make it better. But I think you can pretty much get rid of most of that spring crunch. At least enough of it so that you don't realistically hear it as you're typing. Might you be able to hear it a little bit with it right up against your ear? Yes. Absolutely a possibility. That's the way I feel about it. Take it easy, Jeff. Take it easy, man. Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go back in here. Make sure these are tight. Like that is not tight. Why is that one not tight? Maybe that's why it's B stock. Yeah, like the case still goes down in this corner. The case itself. Actually, on the whole front. Maybe that's what's up with this one. Maybe that's why this thing is B stock. I mean, I don't think it matters that much, and you're probably not going to notice it in regular use, but I think that is in fact what's going on here. Yeah, that is. Ooh. Got it, boys. Figured out why. I couldn't tell why it was B stock originally. Check this. See that gap right there? Okay. That's it. Super glue that gap together. Yeah, you could probably do that. If I were you, I would take something that's a little bit of a gasket and I would do it that way. So basically what's up is these screw holes aren't bored deep enough and there's not threading down there, because I'm definitely, they're not cross-threaded and they're all as tight as I'm comfortable making them. and there's a gap that can close. Now, do I feel it from up here? Yeah, actually I can notice. Ooh, that is very interesting. Now this doesn't move. It's literally just the case. What would I do here? I think what I would do, actually, if I'm being really honest, to try and fix this, is I would take this top case off and I would fit a piece of gasket material between the top case, like a hard gasket, like Poron or something, which I don't have any extra of. And I would cut a strip that was exactly the width so that you couldn't see it under there. And I would put it between the plate and the top case right there. So I would actually be holding the gap open. Yeah, you could take it, you could drill it and tap it again. But yeah, I think I would do that. I would put a hard gasket material under there, or maybe even a really hard spacer. Like if you had a piece of veneer or something that was pretty incompressible that would fill that gap the exact amount that this is big, that would potentially be it. Well, so you would have to re-drill the hole because it's already tapped. So you now need a bigger thread diameter to go in there. So you would need to re-drill the hole on both deeper, or you could just re-drill the part that's already drilled and tap it wider and use a shorter screw. Actually, that's what you could do. That would actually make sense. Get shorter screws. Instead of everything I just said, get shorter screws than these ones. Because obviously they're just like, hold on, I'll tell you. I might be able to tell you. This is going to be a hard thing to measure, and I don't want to scratch your case. And calipers are by definition made out of hard material. You know what? I don't even need to tell you. I'll tell you why I don't need to tell you. All you need to do, because it's very clearly by eye, not more than 2 millimeters. In fact, it's probably more like 1 millimeter. Either way, let's just call it 2. I'll remove this thing and I'll just tell you what its depth is. -2. So it's a countersink. So keep that in mind when you're looking for thread or for dimensions, right? Because I believe countersink screws are measured from the top, not where the threads meet. So the total length of this screw is 15.94, 15.93. So you need to go to your hardware store. This is going to be metric, almost certainly. You're going to go in, you're going to take it in and test it on other nuts to figure out what the thread pitch is. If you can get the nut threaded down deep, like don't ever apply too much force. You don't want to ruin the threads. Just figure out what it is, right? And then once you figure out what that is, you take this depth right here, this 16 millimeters long, right? And get something that's 14 millimeters long in that same dimension. And then when you thread it down and it tightens, it's going to yank that thing shut. That's how I do it. Yeah. Also, we could cut this, but I'm not going to cut this stainless thing right here, right now. Honestly, the best way to do that would probably to take it to a grinder. Just grind it off. Miter saw. Miter saw. So I do have a Dremel. A Dremel would do it with a cutoff wheel. that would work. Worky worker. I'm getting like weird alerts. Anyway, yeah, it's only the 4 because this seems to go together fine. Yeah, the back is tight. It's literally just that front. You know what? I'm gonna do something weird. Like, I'm gonna remove the screws and I'm gonna see if they have different length screws. Maybe I'm the one who's messing this up, right? I don't remember that being the case though. The previous one. I thought they were all the same length. Or if you were really smart, you would just replace all 8 of them. This one actually looks a little shorter than the others, but not like intentionally shorter, just actually cockeyed, like weird on the very tip. No, also 16. So if any of these were short, we don't need to remove any of these, because if any of them were shorter, they would be yanking the front shut. So we removed all the back ones, and we now know. We removed all but the others. They're not obvious. Yep. So that's what you need, man. Are some longer than the others? Yeah, they're not. That's what I was looking for. I'm 100% sure that none of these were shorter or were short enough, right? Because any one of them being short enough would have pulled the case shut, which would have meant that these would have had to have been. It's not possible that I removed 4 of them. Like, they wouldn't have that many mismatches in lengths. So yeah, just use it shorter. You just need to find that same screw 2 millimeters shorter. That might be it. I mean, I don't see other major flaws. There are flaws on the plate on the underside, but I don't know if that would make it. There are some scuffs on this, but otherwise this thing's like perfect. On the other one that we had that was B stock, the backside was absolutely flawed. Like, it had noticeable things. There are actually tiny little blems, but they're like so tiny, I don't know. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be fine. You're gonna do exactly that thing and it's fine. So the other thing I have to criticize this board for is you don't have little dimples for your bump-ons. But that was true of the other one too, so I truly believe that that's this board issue, not this B stock board issue. Yeah, no, it's good, man. It's a good board. It's a great board. And you got your money's worth. All right. We're not gonna put this sticker on, right? That would be a silly sticker to put on there, I think, unless you really want it. Yeah, green's gonna look great, man. Ugh. All right, here we go. Now it's all sturdy, stable. I like it, except for this, which is goofy. But obviously it does clamp down, so I think you're fine. Our cable doesn't really like your board very much, but it's because it's loose. All right, I can. Yep, I got it to. But I'm pretty sure that's just this thing, because I can get it to do the same over here. Well, at least sometimes I can. Well, tell you what, let's run a different cable to it and I'll be 100% sure. This one doesn't stretch far enough, maybe. Oh, there it does. Yeah, it's not you, it's me. All right, let's get these keycaps on here and we'll be done. First of all, let's look at these. These are the fancy ones. Let's get these out. So definitely doing this one. Let's switch it up so I don't actuate all the things all the time. Pow. Thank you very much. Hi How Jukebox. Okay. See what we do with those in a minute. It's gonna be a funky looking set on this, but like it's not bad. It's just gonna look weird. No. Nope. Get in there. Page up. All right, boys and girls, I feel bad like I'm ignoring you guys. Are some of the others maybe rear screws? No. It's weird that they would have B-stocked that, you're right. What's up, Star Fox? Sorry I didn't say hey before, man. It's good to see you. It really, really is. Good to see you in here. Hearing good things. Also picked up grain. Yep. I like grain. Grain is freaking cool looking. I definitely got in on it too. Man, I will say they got so much of my money over at TKC this month. There, derp. Definitely don't need that. That plate actually looks really good. It does look really good. I really like it. I think here, yeah, there. Nope, don't go anywhere. I need you. Mod colored? Well, we'll leave that here for now. You. So we have all the full-size stuff, so we're just kind of getting rid of like those. I'm just throwing them back in the box. I don't know which one of those we're going to use, or if we're going to use that. We'll look in a minute. Alrighty. Getting there. We're getting there. All right. Jimmy Neutron, right? No joke, man. I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool. It's weird, but I like it. I should have bought one of these sets. Maybe I will sometime soon. If I see one. Cubic is pretty high profile, I will say that. Like these caps are very like steep. Like very steep. Sharp even. Just tall. All right. So now the question becomes, do we do that? Or do we do this? Or do we do this? I think we do green. I think we do this. Anybody? I say this. Can be undone. And I kind of like it not with mod. You always do colored pipe. Okay, so green tilde about pipe. Green or not green? And then what about the bottom row? Do we want any of the reds or all the greens? Do we want just the standard ones? Or do we want the fancy ones? This is like the opposite of DSA. It's like super sharp. The edges are like just kind of like green, actually. Like green here or green bottom row for the pipe. So by the way, this keycap puller, you don't use this keycap puller. The way it goes down is it goes around and it kind of can scratch the sides as it goes down and then it'll snap. Use this kind of keycap puller. Anybody who doesn't know that already? Green? All right, everybody seems to think green. So we'll do green. And I think it looks good too. So what about these? Bottom row with all the crazy wild novelties, or some of them, or none of them, or what? Because it looks like you got one of these for each side. You also have some reds. Greens, man, okay. Standard greens or novelty greens? I say you do Control and Alt at least on one side, because you don't have enough of the 1.25U greens to do everything, right? Because you only have 4 of them. You have these 4. You have some reds, but you also have greens that go elsewhere. So I would do like these 2 as, so this is Windows, so I would do like atomic here. Put red next to the spacebar. Ooh, okay. That's fair. How about I do that? Like you said, right? So we'll do reds. Reds. Because I think the atomic symbol looks freaking awesome. And then we'll do Control, Windows, menu, I think. Oh dang, this is menu and that's function. Okay, menu, function, control. That looks pretty good. You could also do the controls as atomic symbols also. I don't know. I don't know. I think you have plenty of options. Yeah, I think this looks good. So wonky. Well, it's backwards, but on purpose. I don't know what you mean by what if I did the controls as preservers. Preservers? Flipped galaxy space brain, yeah. Yeah, flipped spacebar. Focky. I think it's good. That is a loud spacebar, but it sounds really cool, actually. Yeah, that looks clean. It sounds clean. It looks good. Ooh, that's probably really loud for you guys. Sorry about that. All right. All right. What's up, Jeff Leopard? Jeff Leopard. You've never seen jukebox used in a build stream? Well, we just changed that, didn't we? Boom. Done. All right. Let's bam. All right, boys and girls. Get ready. Get ready. Take note, this is going to be loud. This is going to be quite loud. But that's because we're turning noise gates and compressors and stuff off. So you're now at just neutral sound, which means my voice is going to be loud, everything's going to be uncompressed. Oh, that was off anyway. All right. Just already guessing. All right, all right, all right. All right, boys and girls. Oh, 98 is way optimistic. That's never going to happen for me. I would have to practice. The fastest I've ever regularly typed, like where I could regularly hit numbers, is what I was practicing, and it's about 80. I think I've hit 85 before, but like once. Now I'm probably like 60. I think I hit like 66 the other day, but I fucked up kind of near the end, so who knows. 92. He adjusts 92. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's just, you know, I'm a realist. Oh, you know what I should do? Not just this part. But I think what I need to do is this. All right, let's get ready. See, no KB's got the idea. Oh, redo. Caps lock. Bad. 62. So there's kind of a, man, these caps are actually really harsh for me to get used to. I need a wrist rest, actually. I think a wrist rest might actually help in this case for me. Instead of having to move your mouse to redo, just hit tab, which then selects redo. Oh, it does. Cool. Didn't even see it. Ah, what'd I just do? That was so much better. Oh. Oh. Ruined. Ruined. I don't even know what just happened. That was terrible. I was doing way better though. Oh my god. It's so weird that the set is so awkward for me because it's so much taller that I'm like burp. Okay, okay, okay. So bad. Oh, I don't know why I closed it so fast, but whatevs. Yeah, freaking terrible. But the board sounds really cool, actually. So keep in mind, there's no compressor, no nothing. This is just raw sound, boys and girls. This is just raw sound. So the important part, listen right here. When I don't actually depress it, no like rattle, which is good. I don't know. I think it sounds great. Niv 180, what's up? Yeah, so yeah, you are getting a thorough listen to this board. Sorry about all that. I really like it. For what it's worth, that first round where I was redoing, I was actually on a lot faster typing bender, and this helps a lot. I need an even taller one though. So not only is this keyboard pretty high, actually compared to most keyboards, like off the deck, it's just really tall, which is fine. But also the keycaps are high. It does definitely put my wrists in a weird position. It'd be almost better if I could straight arm it because of how high it is. Keep my wrists like, yeah. This is Taihao Jukebox, and I like it. I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's ABS, it's double shot, right? They're pretty inexpensive. I think even these with all the novelties and stuff are somewhere around $50, which pretty hard to say no to. Look at that. It's got that pretty subdued RGB. As subdued as RGB reasonably can be. Yeah. I would I don't know. I would do this. This is let me think about this. Like let's type this. Okay. It's capturing all the way. Okay. So let's do a rough calculation here because this is where this board really stands out in my opinion. I'm gonna get some noise gate action going back on here so I sound decent. That should be a lot better, And even better. And even better. All right, boys and girls. All right. Now we should be way in better land. Everything should sound better. Yeah, I have a hard time with lighter springs too. Heavy springs help me, but I type like I don't know, like I've just got two hams attached to my hands and I'm just... All right, so I wanna figure out what this costs. This is B stock, right? So 280 plus customer's gonna buy $10 in hardware. Great. Plus we'll say $72 shipped for these keycaps, which are premium for Taihao. Plus that's 362, but 650 times this needs 90, right? So 9 plus 362, I think we said. So this board in your hands, just ballparking, $421. Call it 430, just for shits and gigs. I don't know how you're gonna beat that, man. I mean, tofu acrylic could cost you that much. In case you guys don't know. In case you don't know. Tofu acrylic could, well, it was 420.5, but no, tofu acrylic could easily cost you that much money without even going hard. And this board definitely is more premium than that one. In fact, let's give it the weight test. I'm gonna unplug it to just make this whole thing better for us. Okay, zeroed. £7, 4 ounces. If nobody was taking this seriously before, I bet you are now. Because that's a 7.5, well, 7.25 pound board. Finished. For that much. Let's say you're paying me to make your board for you. Plus the shipping and stuff. Call it, I don't know, $100. Or whatevs. Somewhere in that ish ballpark. You're winning. You're winning. What is that in non-freedom units? Oof, it's undone. Okay. 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 All right. All right. All right. Hold on. Don't like my freedom units. Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. It's almost 3.5 kilos, but okay. It's okay. No. I'll get it to you guys in the formats that make sense to get it to you in, and you're not wrong. That's 3.3 kilos. All right, well, I don't think a whole lot needs to be said about that. This board kind of speaks for itself, if I'm being honest. If I'm being straight up with you guys, this board just kind of is good for its price. I approve. If they made a win keyless version, guaranteed if they make a win keyless version, especially one that supports stepped caps lock also. I guess you kind of can't do that. The stepped caps lock, because of the way, maybe you can. I don't know. I'd have to look at how the PCB is made up, but you might not be able to do that. I also don't know if you can do win keyless, but I think they should offer this, and then they should offer a version of the PCB that is step caps and win keyless, and then it's just fixed. And that's what I would get. And I think a lot of people, yeah, Sangen. That's pretty much what I'm actually talking about, right? that would be fine too. But if it were Sangan, right, like you could get a win keyless top and it would be win keyless at that point. Then all they'd have to do is make 2 top pieces. Like maybe just offer it and Sangan. Now, what you lose a little bit is the ability to support it with things like these keycaps. You're pretty much locked into a more premium keycap set than like Taihao. I think this is beautiful. I gotta be honest. I think this is a beautiful board. It's worth, guys. It's worth. You have the PC version of this board and you love it. They had it. I didn't even know they had a PC version of this board, but that's awesome. Have I seen PBT Islander? Yeah, Islander is the one that has the like Hawaiian gradient themed, right? Pretty sure what you're talking about. I have not seen them in person. Maybe I have. I haven't felt them in person. I don't have a solid handle on what they feel like. It's Animal Crossing themed? Is it? I never played Animal Crossing. I guess I gotta be like one of the only people that's never played it. Oh, it's Infinity. Okay. Infinity makes good stuff though. Like, oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I do remember seeing this actually. Is it a group buy or just IC right now? Vendor. The key company. Okay. There you go then. All right. Well, I think you guys kind of know my my take on the rest on this thing. Like, it's pretty good. I really like it. Yeah. I think you guys should get it if you want it. All right. So I'm looking right now at what's on GB still, just FYI. Figured I might as well get you guys a look at what's actually up. So Black Lotus is up. I already opened that one. Train is closed. Nautilus R2 might still be up for like a couple days, right? May 5th. Oh, why can I still add it? Okay. Yeah, whatevs. Maybe this one. Maybe this one if you're into it. Maybe this one if you're into it, which I would be into, except I don't like Hiragana or Hangul subs. At least not in the base kit. And I'm not willing to order a second one. Yeah, okay. So those might be the ones. Boom, boom. Still up. Everybody should get in on Black Lotus. Black Lotus is awesome. Definitely buy that modifiers kit. It's crazy that it's only sold 29. One of them is me. Not that. That might be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Bushido, if you're into it. Oh, that's not what we're looking for. All right, guys. All right. I'll tell you what. I think we're done. I love those mods too, TSC. Call it beta of the fundraising site. Yeah. Everybody actually check that link out. That's actually important. Please post in here, Visionaire, because we are all going to be, we keep content creators are going to be trying to do a good little fundraiser deal. And I think you guys should check it out. I do. So is anybody doing any keep streams? I don't think anybody is. I don't know who Mr. Horologist is. Oh yeah, that's the watch guy, right? That's pretty cool. That is actually pretty cool. But I think Critter Vision has a bunch of bunch of raccoons up, and well, raccoons are really cool, and Mr. Horologist is not doing actual keep stuff. So I think that's where we're gonna wait. Is Minterly streaming? She is streaming. How did I not notice that? Dude, feels bad. Gonna definitely give Minterly the love. No doubt. That's the way. Other Keep streamers. Psh. I'm definitely gonna raid Minterly. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for doing this awesome build with me, checking it all out. Stash, what up, man? Yeah, no, go ahead and tag me on Discord. I am Red Jive. If you want to ping me there, do it. Stash, definitely have a good night. Everybody have a good night. Honestly, stay safe. You know, enjoy yourselves. Obviously not so much that you're not safe, because this is the world we live in. But thank you guys so much for your time. And if you're not already a follower, absolutely consider going up here and hitting that up. And then if you get the opportunity, go check out my other socials. I think we should keep in touch. YouTube's a good way. And you know, so is Instagram, so is Twitter. Twitter if you want to see those go live notifications. YouTube if you want to check my content out whenever it gets posted if you can't make the live streams. All right, guys. You all have a great rest of your night. And well, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
I'm still going. I am still going. House over keyboard over rent over 4K sushi. Oh my god! Me, you are you. Thank you so much for the raid. Hello, hello. I just wait. Oh my god! Thank you for the resub. I don't have hands. Wait. Let me give you a shout out. You guys should go check out I am me, you are you. He is super cool. He is the one. I got it. No, I beat you. Keone. I'm a better mod than you are. He's the one who like made these popular. So, actually the description of the build that I've in the build command, I stole it from his Zycos command. What were you guys doing over there? I hope you were having more fun than I am, because I am suffering making these Zycos. I think I've made like maybe 30 so far. No, I don't have a Zycos command. It's in the build. Yes, you are doing it right. Nice. Ed is learning. We're gonna train you. They do take forever. These are all my rejected Zeal bottoms. Well, there are some Zeals in here, but like, I hope you can also see some of the bottoms. I think I've rejected like 20 so far. He's gonna help me with getting the one switch I need to complete my build. Oh, awesome. Also... for those of you that just came from Me Your Use channel, if you could consider removing the refer raid query from your URL so you'll count as a viewer for me. Just a small thing. No pressure or anything. Like, if you don't mind refreshing page.